Hey everybody, and welcome back to Cookie Gaming. Today we will be starting our new playthrough of Skyrim. That's right, a playthrough of Skyrim in 2023. Why exactly? Well, I've been wanting to do some more gaming content on this channel. I recently did my PS4 collection video, and so I thought a good place to start, a first Let's Play to do, would be Skyrim. A game I'm very familiar with. It'll let me test out my setup, see how the editing is, sort of get a hang of this whole thing, and then we can go into other games. If you guys look at my PS4 collection video, you can see what games I have for the console, and if you want to see Let's Plays of any of them, then just comment down below. But for now, let's get into Skyrim. Now this is a game I am very, very familiar with, so if you're looking for a first-time playthrough, this is not the place for that. This is a veteran playthrough of Skyrim. Not to say I'm super skilled at the game or anything, I'm just very, very familiar with it. So I'm not going to be paying too much attention to the story or the dialogue. I'm not going to skip through it, I'm going to sit through and listen to it for you guys. But, once again, if you're looking for first-time reactions or anything, then this is not the Let's Play for you. But I'm sure a lot of you guys are very familiar with the game as well. Given, it's been out for, I guess 12 years now, released in 2011, we're in 2023. Many of us have played it many, many times over. And speaking of many times over, here's an intro that I have played through many times. A very iconic intro, I think, in gaming history. Getting hauled to Helgen to pay for our crimes, even though I'm not entirely sure what we did. Classic Elder Scrolls introduction. Imprisoned or captured somehow.
You're finally awake.
That classic line from Railoff.
Trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us. And that thief.
Yeah, apparently that's what I did. I crossed the border.
Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't been looking for you, we could have stolen that horse and been halfway to
Get over it,
Hammerfell.
Lokier.
You there. You and me. We shouldn't be here. It's these Stormcloaks the Empire wants.
Okay, good point, good point.
We're all brothers and sisters in binds now, thief.
Shut up back
We
there.
have
What's wrong
Ulfric
with him, huh?
with a cloth
Watch your
pulled over
tongue.
his mouth.
You're speaking to Ulfric
I'm pretty sure they
Stormcloak,
could
the
fairly
true
easily
High
pull
King.
that down, and Ulfric could wreak havoc on all of these guards, but, we'll forget about it.
But if they captured you... Oh, gods. Where are they taking us?
Yeah, you're in trouble,
Don't
bud.
know where we're going, but Sovngarde awaits.
No, this can't be happening. This isn't happening.
Hey, what village are you from, horse thief?
I'm gonna guess
Why do you
Rorikstead.
care?
Let's
A
see if we're
Nord's last
right.
thoughts should be of home.
Rorikstead.
I mean, look, like I said, I've played
I'm
through
from
this intro
Rorikstead.
many, many times. I basically have it memorized. I think I could rattle all this dialogue off the top of my head.
Mara, Debella, Kinnereth, Akatosh, Divines.
Yeah.
Please help me.
Sorry, Lokier, but the Divines were not present today, at least not for you.
Look at him. General Tullius, the military governor.
Here we have the
And it
Imperials
looks like the Thalmor are
and the
with them.
Thalmor.
Damn elves.
The
But they
Imperial
had something to do
Stormcloak
with this.
dichotomy. The Imperials are colonizers, they're taking over a foreign land, that's not great. The Stormcloaks are fighting for their independence, that's admirable, but they are very racist, generally,
I used
which
to be
is
sweet on a
not good
girl.
either.
Wonder if Vilod is still making that mead with juniper berries mixed in. Funny. When I was a boy, Imperial walls and towers used to make me feel so sick.
That's an interesting bit of characterization.
Where are they going?
To go inside.
Yeah, we are bad, bad people.
I want to watch the soldiers.
I tried to cross the border. You don't want to get near me.
Yes, Papa. Get these prisoners out of the cars. Move it.
Why are we stopping?
Why do you think? End of the line.
Uh-oh.
Let's
Here we
go.
go.
Shouldn't keep the gods waiting for us.
Fair enough.
Wait, we're not rebels.
Face your death with some courage, thief.
You've got to tell them we weren't with you. This is a mistake.
Step towards the block when we call your name. One at a time.
Empire loves their damn lists.
Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl of Windhelm.
You would think that the execution
It
of
has been an
Ulfric
honor.
would be a little more ceremonial, a little more grand. But maybe they don't want to make a big thing out of it. They want to execute him like some common rebel. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Lokir of Rorikstead.
Oh no, Lokir.
No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this.
Whatever you do, don't run. Uh-oh.
You're not gonna kill me.
Archers!
Why? Just
Anyone
why?
else feel like running?
Why did you try that, Lokir?
Wait. You there. Step forward.
Another classic line.
Who are you?
Alright. So, think I'm gonna cut here, and I'm gonna make some character decisions, and when we come back, I will show you the character I've created for this playthrough. Alright, welcome back. I think this is the character we're gonna go with. We're doing a bit of a spell sword playthrough, a little bit martial, melee, a little bit magic. We've got a Breton here. I'm gonna be honest, I almost always go with Bretons because that magic resistance is invaluable. It really is quite powerful to have a character that's able to resist magic. And for the name, you know, I reckon we're going to go with Fabian Sharpspell. You know, he's a bit of an adventurer. He comes from, I imagine, a family of these types of mages. A little bit pretentious, very well off. I think that's the kind of archetype we're going for.
Are you from Daggerfall, Breton? Fleeing from some court intrigue?
Maybe that's right. Maybe we are fleeing from
Captain,
court intrigue.
What should we do?
I imagine he's
not on the
from
list.
some sort of
Forget the
powerful
list.
aristocratic
He goes to the
family.
block.
By all
Maybe
rules,
they've gotten themselves in trouble, and that's why he's in
Sorry.
Skyrim.
We'll make sure your remains are returned to High Rock. Follow the captain, prisoner.
Not that, frankly, there's too many options to roleplay in Skyrim anyway, but, you know, it's nice to have a character in mind, right? Skyrim is not the most RPG of RPG games, if you know what I mean. The RPG elements are somewhat shallow compared to other games, but, you know,
You started this war.
I love the
Plunged
game.
Skyrim into chaos.
Look, I mean, I've been playing this game for 12 years, so I've got a lot to say about it, many criticisms. But I can't forget that when I first played this game, at the age of,
Carry on.
God, I don't know, 12, 13 or
Yes,
something,
General Tullius.
it really
Give them their
sparked my interest. It
As
was
we
really a
commend your souls to
wondrous
Aetherius,
game to play. It
blessings of
felt
the
like you
eight
could do
divines
anything.
upon
For the
you.
love of Talos, shut up and let's
And I
get
definitely
this
have that
over with.
nostalgia still.
As you wish.
This fella. If you just let her say her prayer, man,
All morning.
you might have made it. But, you know, we don't know the future. You gotta respect
My
his
ancestors
behavior
were
in the face of
smiling
the
at me,
Imperials, at
Imperials.
least.
And you say the same.
And he said they probably could say the same. I mean, the Imperials like conquest and expansion.
Justice!
Death to the Stormcloaks!
Oh my
As
goodness.
fearless in death as he was in life.
True, fearless, perhaps stupid.
Here it is again. Did you hear that?
I said next prisoner.
Like, bruh,
To the block.
how are you going to ignore that?
Nice and easy.
There's literally, like, roaring in the background. There's some massive creature around. Even if you don't think it's a dragon, that's kind of a big deal. Well, I guess we're done for. Goodbye, everybody. It was a good play. Wait a minute!
Sentry. What do you see?
What's going on?
It's in the
Ah, our good friend Alduin. Come to rescue us. Thank you very much. Now let's get the hell out of here. Alright, time for my regular speed run of the intro. Now look, like I said, I'll sit through all the dialogue and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not gonna dally when I don't have to. And, you know, you can get out of the intro pretty quickly. Jump over here, run down here. Don't stop for this, just keep running. There's Alduin. Keep it on the move. Avoid any dragon fire. And now we get the option to go with either the guy who just tried to kill us, Hadvar, or the guy who was fairly nice on the wagon ride over, Ralof. Upon first playthrough, even if you know nothing about Stormcloaks versus Imperials, who would choose Hadvar? I'm sure some people did, but not me. And not most people. I went with Ralof the first time, and then it just became a pattern. I mean, I've tried going with Hadvar before, just to see it. It's not that different. But my default playthrough, I will go with Ralof basically every time. Let's go, Ralph. Sorry about your homie.
We'll meet again in Sovngarde, brother. Looks like we're the only ones who made it. That thing was a dragon. No doubt.
Yeah.
Just like the children's stories and the legends. The harbingers of the end times.
That's not good.
We better get moving. Come here. Let me see if I can get those bindings off.
Thank
There
you.
you go. May as well.
Let's get equipped. You know, we gotta set up our menu real quick, even though we'll be trading out a lot of this gear. Let's do familiar, healing. We might need flames. So I'm thinking, like I said, we're going for part martial, part magic. Maybe we do a warrior with a bit of a focus on conjuration. We could do destruction. That's a little basic. Conjuration is kind of fun. And of course, also a bit of restoration. Restoration is useful to just about everybody. Yep, I'm ready. Oh yeah, I forgot. What? What difficulty are we on? Expert. Alright, I'll keep it at that. Skyrim's not really a game you play for the gameplay or the challenge. It's on expert. If I get annoyed with expert, I'll just turn the difficulty down. I don't feel any shame about that. You know, we're not playing Dark Souls. I don't have to prove my epic gamer skills. I mean, the difficulties in Skyrim, it's not like it really gets more difficult the higher the difficulty is. It's just enemies become a lot more spongy. That's basically what the difference is, to be honest. So in many ways, it's just kind of a difference between doing things quicker and doing them slower. There's not much of a skill differential. Got it, Ralof. Yoink.
Come on, let's get out of here before the dragon brings the whole tower down on our heads.
Fair point. Let's go. Ah, nice open hallway. Oh. Never mind. We should do a quick save before we head in. Always remember to save your game, guys. Always remember to save your essays you're writing as well. Just a general life tip. I'm trying to get enough magic to perform this spell. There we go. It only took a bunch of aimless running around. And once again, you know, you can choose a class that has higher skills. Like, the Breton has good magicka skills, but as you can see, low melee combat skills. But once again, it doesn't really matter because you'll level them up anyhow. And in fact, if you choose someone like a race like the Breton, which has, I guess, started with 15 one-handed, since we're using it so much, all it's going to do is help us level up faster. So sometimes I think, if you want to optimize, or if you want to, maybe not optimize, but level fast, you're better off taking a race that's not suited for the playstyle that you're going for. But, once again, Skyrim's not super strong in a lot of the RPG elements, so the races do not matter that much at all. There's small differences, of course. Some abilities, there are the skill differences, stuff like that, but it doesn't make that big of a difference. Especially not once you're many levels in. I mean, I don't want to spend the whole time critiquing Skyrim, but you know how it is when you've played a game for this many years. It's a loving critique. I joke about the game's faults. I'm not trying to make some sort of negative statement. It's just, playing through it this many times, you can't help it. And I mean, for me and for a lot of people, like I said, I have a lot of nostalgia with Skyrim. When I played this game as a kid, it was truly magical in many ways. And like a lot of people, this was really my introduction to the RPG genre. A genre that would go on to become my favorite genre of video game. But Skyrim, since it was so popular, and appealed to such a broad audience, was really the first RPG that I got into. And from then on, we do everything from Dragon Age Origins, Fantastic, The Witcher 3, a whole selection of other RPGs. But without Skyrim, I probably would have still developed that interest, but maybe in a different way. And so, like a lot of people, Skyrim was a big part of my childhood. Regardless of how well the game is aged or how good each individual part of the game is, I don't really mind. It still had an impact. And, I mean, hey, the impact is told by the sales numbers. If you want to critique Skyrim for any number of reasons, fair enough, but it's still making Todd Howard crazy money. Alright, let's take these fellas out. Oh my goodness. These Stormcloaks are going off. Here, let's utilize the oil spill that occurred, apparently. I think that's everybody. Might as well pick up a bow. And just loot a bunch of stuff so we can sell it afterwards. Now look, I'm not a loot goblin. In D&D, maybe. But in Skyrim, I'm not going around looting absolutely everything I can. But I do a fair amount of looting. I mean, look, there's the people who run past everything. And they're the people who pick up everything. Now, in my earlier playthroughs, back when I first played the game, I was more the type who picked up everything. But now that I have so much experience, I don't do that anymore. It's not really that effective. I just pick up what I need. Come on, Rayloff. You better make it across that bridge in time. There we go. And no going back that way. Well, you can go under here, and you'll get access to some extra coins and a potion. So that's kind of nice, eh? Alright, let's go. Let's re-equip Conjure Familiar. Yeah, so I'm recording this on my PS4 with the, PlayStation record function. Maybe I'll get a capture card at some point. I'm not willing to make that commitment at this point. I haven't even uploaded any gaming videos apart from the PS4 collection video. So, I want to get into it a little bit first before I do anything like that. And I cannot record gameplay on my PC. It is not built for that kind of thing. It is quite old at this point and very slow. Though, I think in the next couple of months, I'll have to get a new PC to keep me going. And maybe we can get some gameplay recordings then. And our first level up. Now, we're playing a very broad character, which is what a lot of people do in Skyrim, because its skill system is based on performing actions, which lends itself to very broad builds, not specific class builds. But one of the problems it comes with is that we will have to split a bunch of our points into, first off, between magicka, health, and stamina, And second off, our perk points between all these different skills. It is pretty easy to do a broad, general build in Skyrim, and like I said, the system lends itself to that, but there are some downsides. You might feel a little bit stretched thin. Though, to be honest, all that's going to happen is just that we're probably not going to have that much stamina, which doesn't have that much of an impact on combat. It's more just annoying when you're running. You won't be able to run for as long. But health and magicka is way more important for our build. Bing bang bong. There's the bear. Didn't even give Rayloff a chance to ask us if we wanted to sneak up or go in guns blazing. But here we go, and not to bore you guys too much, but we should probably do a full save at this point. You know, like I said, keep good practices with your saving. You know, I believe quick saving only came to the PlayStation with Skyrim Special Edition. I don't think it was in the original edition of Skyrim. And that was a great, if I'm correct, I might be making that up. Let's not do survival mode. But if that's true, if we only got it with Special Edition, I think that's true. God, it was a great edition. If I'm remembering correctly, you used to just have to full up save if you wanted to save.
No way to
When
know if
on
anyone else
PC,
made
you
it
would
out
just quick
alive.
save.
But this place is going to be
And that was
swarming with
pretty
Imperials
annoying.
soon enough. We better clear out of here.
Alright, let's go,
My
Rayloff.
sister, Gerda, runs the mill in Riverwood, just up the road. I'm sure she'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up. Good luck.
I think that's funny. Like, if we were heading a long way, yeah, that might make sense, but we're literally heading down the road, and you don't want to walk together? I see how it is. Yeah, so the opening to Skyrim, how about that? It's another one of those classic Elder Scrolls intros, or just Bethesda intros. You know, I think of, say, Fallout 4, or Morrowind, or Oblivion, or, I mean, God, any of their games, really. You start out in a small, confined area, you know, a dungeon, a fallout shelter, a boat, whatever. You know, you work your way through, maybe kill a couple of enemies, do the tutorial, and then you're finally let out into the open world. The bright blue sky, the shining sun. You know, in Skyrim we have the lake over there, we have Bleak Falls Barrow in the distance. They make sure to give you a couple of things to look at. I mean, in the Elder Scrolls, they just put you in a dungeon or in a jail cell and you have to fight your way out. In the Fallout games, it's often through a Fallout shelter, though that is not the case in New Vegas, of course. Though that is an Obsidian game, not Bethesda, so...
These are the Guardian stones.
Yeah, we reached it at the same
Three of the
time.
13 ancient standing
See, he said we
stones
should go
that
separately,
dot
but he's still
Skyrim's
explaining stuff to me.
Go ahead. See for yourself.
So I think... Oh, this is actually kind of tricky for us, because we're a split build. If we do the Mage Stone, we'll level faster in Conjuration, Restoration, and... I don't know if we're going to use Destruction. We should probably do Warrior for now, because we've got Armor, Shield, One-Handed, Smithing. We might come back a little bit later for some Magicka skills. Maybe this will be more of a melee playthrough. I mean, look, we'll see how it goes. I just told you guys what I intended to do, but stuff doesn't always work out how you intended it, necessarily. Sorry, buddy. This is, by the way, how I always start my Skyrim playthroughs. We go to the stones, get whichever bonus you want. See, I never understood why it says +2 damage. Like, I already have 11. Whatever. And I believe... Here we go. Here's the axe. If we ever want to do a hard day's work. Doubtful. I go to the stones. I go to Embershard Mine. Clear this place out. Then we head to Riverwood. And, well, we've got a couple of things to do there. A couple of quests. But we'll talk about that when we get there. First, we have to take care of these chumps in Embershard. Apologies for coming in and slaughtering you every time, but it's just the way of the world. There's my wolf. How much can he do? Probably not that much. Not much at all, actually. The sword is much more effective. Alright. We're probably... Yeah, we're almost at full carrying capacity, so I'm only going to take what I need from here. Yeah, we're going to have to drop some stuff. Like I said, I've just been looting like crazy so far. Let's drop all the light armor. Just because I like to load up before I get to Riverwood, then sell everything, and then from there on, I'm far less of a loot goblin when it comes to what I take. Here we have this tattered journal. I've read this many a time, but unfortunate for this fella. He was crushed. A bit of environmental storytelling there. You know, I will say, the thing about Skyrim is that it's got a very interesting world, a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, this is one of the reasons why the game has always been so attractive, is the world. Very interesting world building, a bunch of factions, the Civil War, cities. It does feel like, you know, maybe the game doesn't fully deliver on a lot of that interest. But there is a lot of interesting stuff there, and I really do think that is one of the reasons why Skyrim's been so popular for so many years. One of the reasons is that it is a sort of watered-down, broad RPG experience that introduced a lot of people to the genre and appealed to a lot of people who might not otherwise have played RPGs. You know, maybe they didn't play something like Dragon Age Origins. That was, you know, too much of an RPG. You know, it was all about making your character, and the combat was a little different, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. But Skyrim, yeah, well, you just run around and kill people. That's fun, regardless of what genre of game you enjoy the most. So it's very accessible. That's one of the reasons why it was so popular. And then also, like I said, the world. It's one of the things Skyrim does the best. The world building. It really draws you in. And like I said, I think sometimes it doesn't necessarily deliver, but it certainly has a lot of intrigue. And, you know, I don't feel a ton of that now, because I'm so familiar with the game, but playing through it the first time, I mean, the world felt fascinating. It felt massive, unknown. You wanted to go everywhere. You saw something on the map, you wanted to visit it, you know, what's going on over there? And that's what really made the experience so great. Skyrim is not really a game made by, say, its fantastic combat, or its fantastic storytelling, or its fantastic characters. It doesn't really have those things. But it is a game brought together by its fantastic world. Yeah, sorry, nameless bandits. Y'all are in trouble. And for me, even today, a great world is one of the things I love the most from RPGs. Which is why I think, you know, I still remember Skyrim very fondly. I look back on it with a lot of nostalgia, right? There's that, but even just looking at the game sort of independently today. Of course, I have a lot of criticisms. I think there's a lot of stuff that isn't that great about it, but I do still think that the world is really fantastic and still, you know, sort of draws me in, even though I know so much about it. And I think that's a great aspect for sort of any RPG. I mean, there are other things that I enjoy about RPGs, other aspects, but the world is a big one. You know, we can think of like a Dragon Age. This fascinating world with the different races, how do they interact? Or, say, a Fallout New Vegas, the whole post-apocalyptic aesthetic. That's a great concept to go with, and some of the Fallout games have really done it justice. Or, I'm taking a drink from my water. You know, The Witcher. It has a lot of really fascinating aspects to its world. Now, all those games I just listed have a lot of other great qualities as well, but they do have those fantastic, big, lived-in worlds in common, which I think is a great element, and it's something that Skyrim does have. Something that Morrowind had, for example.
Looks like nobody here knows what happened yet. Come on. Gerda's probably working in her lumber mill.
I'll let you go do that.
I saw a dragon.
Poor Hilda.
What is it now, Mother?
It was as
Everyone
black
thinks
as
she's
night,
crazy.
black as night.
Though, to be fair,
It flew right
you
over
know, they're
the
presenting
barrel.
like the crazy old lady thing,
Dragons now, is it? Please.
but
If you keep
like
on like
a
this,
day or
you're
two
gonna
from
drive me
now,
crazy.
when the news spreads,
I've got
everyone's
crazy
gonna be like, damn, Hilda was right.
What? Looking to protect yourself?
All right.
Deal some damage.
Time for the absolute dump. Actually, you can have that. I'll just use my regular steel sword. Take that, take that. We'll keep the bow. Okay. Take that, take that. I'll keep the rest. I'm just unequipped. Well, I sold my sword.
Feindorf
All right.
thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away
Ooh,
from me.
thank you for
She's
reminding me,
already
Sven.
mine, I keep telling you.
There's no reason to help you, but there is a reason to help Feindel.
Riverwood's agreeable enough, I suppose, for a Nord village.
It's kind of weird to be, like, racist when you live amongst
He's
Nords.
a bard, so he says. Occasionally, he finds time to do his job here at the mill. Thinks his ballads and sonnets are going to convince Camilla Valerius to marry him. As if she would say yes. An intelligent, beautiful woman like her wouldn't fall for that nonsense. I hope.
I hope. You don't sound very sure,
I've
Feindel.
been thinking. Maybe Camilla needs a little help seeing Sven for what he is. Could you give her this letter and say it's from Sven? I think I've matched that Nord's lack of cleverness perfectly.
Bro, everyone here's a Nord.
Good day.
Alright, we're gonna do that. Now, in reality, it's an immoral thing to do. To lie to Camilla about, you know, Sven being a douche. Even though he probably is a douche. But, you know, we're not playing on morality. We're trying to get a follower. And, you know, you have to go lie to this lady to get your first follower, Feindel. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, if this was an RPG more focused around the decisions you make and their consequences, then I would just go and tell Camilla, hey, Feindel is trying to lie to you. Kinda messed up.
What's going on?
But that's not how it is.
Pretty well done in. I can't remember when I last slept. Where to start? Well, the news you heard about Ulfric was true. The Imperials ambushed us outside Darkwater Crossing. Like they knew exactly where we'd be. That was
Betrayal?
2 days ago now.
My
We
goodness.
stopped in Helgen this morning, and I thought it was all over. Had us lined up to the headsman's block and ready to start chopping.
Alright,
New
Girder.
to Riverwood? If you're looking for work.
Oh,
good,
yeah, give me
of
stuff.
course. Oh, what's this all about? What are you two doing here?
Very generous from Girder, who's giving me a bunch of food first off, but also potions, a silver necklace, pretty nice, and an enchanted ring. Maybe she doesn't know it's enchanted. You know what, actually, that's going to be canon. I thought she was just giving us this expensive ring, but what does she know about magic? She probably thinks it's just a normal ring. Even so, it's a bit odd to give us a ring and a necklace, along with the food and drink. But, thank you very much.
A dragon? In Helgen?
Yes, a
It
dragon.
can't be.
Believe it.
Although, it would explain what I saw earlier. flying down the valley from the south. I thought I must have just been seeing things.
Nope. That was a for real
I
dragon.
don't know why, but I actually believe you. You've got the look of someone who's just seen a dragon.
Okay, brutal,
Things
thanks.
just go from bad to worse. First the war, now dragons. What's this world coming to?
Nothing
The
good,
Jarl
Girder.
needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Sounds good. I'm going to Whiterun anyway. I don't know if she actually is in our debt. I don't think I've ever come back to talk to Girder after heading to Whiterun. But before we go to Whiterun, we have to stop in at the general goods store to sell some of the stuff we've acquired. You know, I have a strange feeling we'll run into a rather important quest while we're in there.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I said, I don't know what you overheard.
First off,
Take a look.
let me sell my stuff. Then I'll listen to your quest. Take my foot wraps. I'm not going to sell any of this. I'm going to disenchant it. But here, you can take these necklaces. Take... I'll read both of these. Take these amethysts, this garnet, and the ruby. What are you guys arguing about?
Yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in, but we still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing.
One thing?
An ornament. Solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw.
My goodness. You know, for a price, I could help you get that claw back.
You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back.
Alright,
The wrong
done
place
deal.
With your weapon drawn, you might not walk out again.
Are you threatening me, Lucan?
You're going to get those thieves.
Jeez. Just offered to help you, man. Alright. I'm not gonna smith anything yet. I can't really be bothered. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Ah, there she is.
This way.
You know, I'm going to betray my morals in order to get our first follower.
Another poem, I bet. He does know how to make a girl blush. What's this? If that oaf thinks all I'm going to do is stay in that filthy house of his and clean, You can tell Sven that he already has a mother. I'm not speaking to him
Yeah, we
anymore.
saw his mother. She saw the dragon. Observant, clearly.
We have to go through town and across the bridge.
Hello, Faendal.
Tell me as soon as you've given Camilla the letter. I appreciate
I
your help.
have.
Please,
Even though she's in
take this.
earshot
Some
right
gold
now.
I've saved up from working at the mill.
25 gold. Alright, so 25 gold, that's a fair enough price. Also, you are now my eternal companion for
Lead
life.
the way.
What a crazy way to get a follower. And I don't want to hear it, Camilla. Alright, time to make the trek up to Bleak Falls Barrow. I reckon we'll probably end this episode as we reach Bleak Falls Barrow. It's sort of a natural cutoff point, you know? Oh my god, she's still following. We do the tutorial, escape Helgen, come to Riverwood, get our first real quest, heading to Whiterun, and then get our second real quest, which is acquiring the claw. And then we make our way up to Bleak Falls Barrow, and then we can stop there and continue next time. Hello, wolf. Obviously, you know, animals like wolves and skeevers are very easy. Level up, by the way. I always get frustrated, though, whenever you're fighting a wolf or a skeever or whatever, this easy little opponent, and they hit you, and then they give you some weird disease. I forget what they're called. It was like... I don't remember. But I know one of them decreases your stamina. It's always so annoying. Which is why I don't like to get hit at all by any wild animals in Skyrim. They don't do much damage, but I fear that they're going to give me some odd disease. Now, what do we go for? We've got a couple options. You know, let's put a point into Conjuration. Probably putting a point into One-Handed would be more in our interest, but, you know, we've got to upgrade to Conjuration eventually. And hopefully by the time we get to Whiterun, we can move up to apprentice conjuration spells. That would be cool. Get an Atronach instead of our little wolf, who dies extremely rapidly. Hello, everybody. Just passing by. Don't want to cause any trouble, he says, as he summons an ethereal being. Oh my goodness. Oh my. The brutality of it all. First off, give me your coin purse. Second off, here we have the big boss waiting upstairs.
Close enough. Now ain't this a surprise?
Sorry, you've just been outplayed. And we're also going to take... Oh, well, we're definitely taking that. But we're going to take all this armor so that Faendal can wear it. Yeah, get rid of the iron shield. Screw that. We have a banded iron shield. Ooh, fancy. What are you... 67 gold and a garnet. Not bad. I think also Skyrim was my introduction to gems as a child. All the different gems you can get in Skyrim. Like an amethyst. I would not have known what an amethyst was before this game. And to be honest, I still don't really know what an amethyst is. But I know what it is in a Skyrim context. A purple little gem that I can sell for a small amount of cash. See, this game can be educational too. Alright, let's make our way up to the one and only Bleak Falls Barrow. I will say, this is a pretty good design. Not talking about like the level or the map design of the interior, but the exterior. Coming up on this the first time, it feels quite imposing, I remember. You're thinking, my goodness, what is this place? It's also crazy that it is like a 5-minute walk from Riverwood. This like massive tomb. And I mean, I literally mentioned it after we exited from the cave in Helgen. It's quite the sight to see. Hello, everybody. Okay, that was a miss from me. I also forgot to summon my familiar, which I'm going to do now while trying to evade. Okay, I'm hitting my own familiar now. This is not the most effective strategy, one could say. Hello, bandit. Don't hide. There you go. Apologies. Oh, what? I almost lost my kill animation there. It's one of the most satisfying elements of Skyrim combat. Let's be honest. As I've mentioned, I think, several times, the combat itself is not that great, but the kill animations are pretty fun. Alright, let's go inside. We should shelter from the harsh snow as I give the outro on this video. Damn, this guy's getting a little too much into the role-playing. Level 3, not a bad level to end at. Fairly standard, I think, when you reach Bleak Falls Barrow. We've got those two over there, but we'll leave them for next time. Alright, everybody. Here we have Fabian and his new companion, his new follower, Faendal, have been given a quest to retrieve a mysterious golden claw from this big, massive tomb. They've reached it, but to see what happens, you have to stay tuned for the next episode of my Let's Play of Skyrim. I hope you guys enjoyed part 1. I hope this sort of gives you an idea of what exactly I'm going for. Like I said, I'm doing this because I'm very familiar with Skyrim, and I wanted a game that I'm comfortable and familiar with to try out my first Let's Play, or at least my first Let's Play in years. I mean, we have some gaming content back from when I was a child on this channel, but as of right now, this is my first Let's Play in a long, long time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. You know, if you did, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, particularly if you have any other suggestions for games to play through. Like I said, you can check out my PS4 game collection video. And if any of those interest you, leave a comment on this video or that video saying which game you would like a playthrough of. I'm really quite open to anything. Like I said, I'm just trying to do some more gaming content. I thought it would be fun. You know, I've been active on my other channels recently, Ethan Cook and History Student Reacts, and I thought this would be a nice little hobby to pick back up. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today, and I will see you all next time.